Joe Rogan recently explained why he got involved in the 2024 election after previously saying he wanted nothing to do with it, and specifically why he endorsed Donald Trump. And Joe Rogan's reasoning is baffling, to say the least. In a recently published episode, Joe Rogan says his decision to get involved and endorse Trump ultimately was driven because of lies.
All right, so in this clip, we're diving into here is Joe Rogan's bizarre reasoning for endorsing Donald Trump, the guy with over 30,000 documented lies, while claiming it's all about honesty. Meanwhile, David Pakman comes in swinging, pointing out Rogan's blatant contradictions and highlighting the wild mental gymnastics involved in this endorsement. Buckle up, because we're breaking this down with no filter. Rogan's rationale, shaky at best. Trump's track record, a disaster of dishonesty. Let's get into this madness.
Now you might say, oh, that makes sense. Trump lies all the time. Rogan, no. Tim Walz's lies are the reason that Rogan decided to endorse Donald Trump, which is weird because Donald Trump is a compulsive liar. And Rogan rattles off a variety of different things that Tim Walz has said, and they have to do with credentials, they have to do with military, they have to do with all these different things. So here is Joe Rogan explaining it to us, and this is truly baffling.
Well, I wanted to stay out of the presidential election shit
Yeah,
because
what
it's gross. Because I feel like I had to. I feel like this is so nuts. This is so nuts. When that Tim Walz guy, it's so nuts that guy was going to be the vice president. You're telling me, you're telling me this whole thing's fake then. You're telling me you don't care if someone's a liar. You don't care if they lied about their military rank, where they served.
Pakman's takedown begins here, and it's brutal. If Rogan's standard for honesty is this strict, how does Trump pass the test? Spoiler, he doesn't. Rogan's logic feels like cherry picking at its worst.
You don't care if they lie about being an assistant. You don't care if they lie about Tiananmen Square. There's too many things. This is so crazy. You would get fired if you were an assistant manager at a fucking oil changing company.
Yeah. Okay. So, first of all, you can break down each of these claims that Rogan makes individually. The alleged lie that Walz told about his military rank, I believe, was a confusion as to what is the highest rank he reached versus at what rank did he retire. Is that a lie? Is it anywhere close to Trump's 30,000 lies? You can be the judge, but my understanding is that Walz did accurately represent the highest rank he reached, but that's not the rank at which he retired. Okay, as far as serving, my understanding is that Walz did not claim to have served in combat. That's my understanding. As far as the dates of Tiananmen Square, he did get that wrong, and he acknowledged that he got those dates wrong. He was there within months, but there was not overlap. Okay, but then you have to zoom out, and you have to say, okay, if you're upset about those three things with Tim Walz, how do you then go and endorse Trump if what you care about is the truth? Because Trump told over 30,000 documented lies during his presidency. This is the Trump who said Mexico will pay for a wall, COVID will magically disappear by Easter of 2020, that he won an election that he actually lost by millions of votes. Trump's lies aren't just frequent, the scale of them. And, Walz's rank at retirement versus peak rank versus Trump saying, I actually won this election and should have gotten to be the president. Trump still lies about the election results of 2016. Trump still doesn't want to acknowledge that he straight up lost the popular vote in 2016. That was 8 years ago. And Rogan endorses Trump because it's Walz who's dishonest. Now, I think it's fair to ask, does Rogan genuinely think Trump is more honest than Tim Walz? Or is it about picking the lies that you're willing to tolerate? Because if lies were the deal breaker, Trump would be the first candidate you would say, I've got to rule them out because they tell too many lies.
Pakman's dead on here. Rogan's argument implodes under its own weight. It's clear. Rogan isn't mad about lying. He's mad about Walz specifically, and he's ignoring the mountain of evidence against Trump because it's convenient.
Instead, Rogan doubles down on the guy who's made lying a cornerstone. We talk about Is Trump for or against legal abortion? Is Trump for or against gay marriage? Is Trump for or against tariffs? We don't know because he's taken every position. The one thing Trump is fine with is lying and dishonesty. That's the one thing he's fine with. And it's not just hypocrisy. This is part of a bigger pattern where the MAGA crowd pretends to care about a principle. In this case, the principle is honesty. But then when it's inconvenient, they ignore it. Did Kamala Harris really work at McDonald's? Was Tim Walz really drawing up the plays, or did someone else coach the offensive line? Trump tells 30,000 lies and they go, I'm voting for Trump because I care about honesty and the truth and forthrightness.
This is about people choosing their side and abandoning their principles. Rogan's endorsement is the latest example of the MAGA crowd pretending to stand for values they toss aside the moment it's inconvenient.
If Rogan wants to call out Walz, fine. But you've got to say, and because of that, I also can't endorse Donald Trump. But instead, he did endorse Donald Trump. So it's just a reminder. For a lot of people, politics is not about principles. I have an entire chapter in my forthcoming book about this. They want to make the conversation only about principles, and then they abandon all of their principles. It's about facts be damned. I'll do whatever is convenient for the person I've already decided that I'm supporting. That's where we are. It is wild, wacky stuff. But I don't think there's going to be any reversal over the next couple of years. That's for sure.
David Pakman doesn't just grill Rogan. He dismantles him. This isn't a debate. It's a rout. Rogan's reasoning for endorsing Trump is flimsy, hypocritical, and frankly embarrassing. Pakman exposes it for what it is, a defense of dishonesty disguised as a moral stand. Rogan had a chance to sit this one out. Instead, he stepped into the ring with laughable logic, and Pakman wiped the floor with him. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and subscribe to see more content like this in the future. Take care.